we are recording. Begin. Introduce yourselves.
Well,
Ricket?
I'm Danny. Shadow Room playing as Danny.
wait, alphabetical order going by what?
Going by like how you are, like in the alphabetical order by the names on Discord, which puts you at the top, Ricket.
I'm Ricket. I'll be playing James.
I'm Modmad. I'll be playing Bukbuk.
Othergirls playing Misty the Wizard.
Shadow Room 01 playing as Danny.
Alright, and I'm Kai. I am the DM and ready to kill half the party because it's time for the boss fight. Quick recap of everything because it's been a little while since our last game. But basically, as your party, you've been approached by a private detective named Ridley who said there's something up with Triplanar Studios. You all decided to do a bit of breaking and entering in the middle of the night. You discovered that the lion cub that you left there only earlier that day has now been turned into something that's definitely not a toon and isn't quite real either, and is very, very disturbing. So there's definitely something going up in the studios. You explore a bit more, find a giant room where there seems to be where the experiments may seem to be being done. Olivia Acton is down there tinkering with various electronics along with a scientist, and as she spots you, she does some magics and drags about half of you down into the bottom room. So Misty, Danny, and Ridley are now in the middle of the bottom room, and James and Bukbuk are up on the upper floors, and Olivia is now also up on the upper floor on the walkway above the room, ready to face you down. So, Misty, Danny, Ridley, you are all, I'm just going to include Ridley with this because I'm talking to myself here, but you are all in excruciating pain. You are, the room around you is spinning and spinning, and there's not quite mirrors, not quite pictures on the walls around you, and you can see them shifting form. And as they shift form, you notice that you are starting to shift form as well. Before we roll initiative, I would like you guys to please roll perception.
Everyone?
No, just Misty and Danny and Ridley.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay.
What?
What was written to do?
It was... So just...
Well,
Nice 24.
Hang on a second.
Ridley has very good perception.
So it
Misty.
was,
Not.
Oh shoot, hang on. I could, see if I can get this correct. Okay, no.
Okay. Sadly, neither Misty and Danny, you are in too much pain to actually be able to tell what is going on. You can feel your bodies warping. You are doubled over in pain. Ridley is also in a lot of pain, but he's gotten into some rather bad situations already, so he's a little bit more accustomed to this, and he can look around, get a good look at what's actually going, and he sees in the very center of the room there is a big red button. He goes and presses the big red button, and the walls that have been whirling around you slow, like woo, 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 and slow to a stop, and you can finally get a really good view at the hundreds and hundreds of mirrors that have been frozen into pictures around you, and thankfully the pain stops. You guys return to your toon selves. And you can stand up, you can look around properly, and you can see that the things in the mirrors are also standing up and looking around properly. They have not reverted to their toon selves, and they are this weird and horrendous amalgamation of too much detail and hard lines on the outside, and they don't feel right, they don't look right, but they are still copies of you. And as you watch, these half-formed copies step out of the mirrors. Meanwhile, up on the catwalk, Olivia stares at you, James and Bucky, and just goes, I was really hoping that it wouldn't come to this, but c'est la vie. And she rips her hand through the air, and as it comes out straight as she brings it to her side, it is now holding a dark saber that is shimmering with shadows that did not exist 3 seconds ago. And I would like everyone to please roll initiative.
Hey! Oh boy.
Initiative is D20 plus dexterity.
Yes.
Just checking.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Oh gods, I've got to roll this so many times. I'm just gonna make all the half forms go at the same time because I don't want to have to do that to myself. Give me a moment. So do forgive me if I'm a little bit slow with this, just because I have a lot of characters that I need to juggle. Okay.
That's okay.
I need to get a note here of who's going when.
I'm really sorry if you can low-key hear a siren going off in the background. There's a house across the road that alarm has been going off all day, and I hate it.
Fair enough.
We can't hear anything. It's okay.
No, I can't hear it.
Good, awesome. I can, and it's going into my skull. I hate you.
Earmuffs.
It's bad.
Ouch.
Okay.
Trying to work with that going off is not fun.
So mod wait,
Two of us have rolled 5. What happens with that?
It's who of you has the largest dex modifier? I know.
Well, that would be you then.
Yeah, me. So yeah, in that case, Ridley would go before you. 5.
A stunning revelation. Houses don't have good decks.
I would like those of you, Danny and Misty, you need to roll initiative as well. Everyone's in the fight. This is not good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Initiative. Hold on.
Oh, and
I'm looking for it.
So it's basically you roll a d20 plus your dex bonus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Let me finish typing this all up, so I can actually have an order to all of this. Nice one, Danny.
Yeah.
Anyone? And I'm just gonna roll a flat 20 for the half forms.
Okay.
That was not what I wanted. Okay,
Wait a second,
so...
what?
Alright, let's... Do. Thank you for being patient. Does everyone make sure? Double checking. Does everyone have the appropriate amount of spell slots? I know that people did use up a couple of spells in their last session. You guys didn't refresh them or anything, right?
Nope. Still missing a slot.
Alrighty.
Okay, yeah. I'm missing one from the disguise self.
Good. So it's all still even. Alright, I'm gonna space these guys out. So it is... I would also like to remind everyone that Misty is still invisible. Her you guys can technically know where she is by the fact that there is a slight puddle of shimmering ink on the floor, so you can see where her footprints are. However, you can't however, there is also another pair of footprints across this other side of the room, so that might be a little bit worrying. Okay, first up is Danny. What would you like to do?
Oh jeez. We can't. We can't reach the catwalk, can we? At this point?
No, the ladder that led up to the catwalk folded up as the room started moving, and it hasn't come down again.
Okay. And the images in the mirrors, can those do anything to us?
They're not in the mirrors anymore. They've stepped out of the mirrors. These are the.
Oh no, no.
They've stepped out of the mirrors.
Okay.
They do not look happy. They're gonna come get you.
Okay.
Oh god, that's like my worst fear.
Yeah. So the image,
Alright,
the image in the game zone. You good guys are in blue. Baddies are in red.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna have to probably fight my double.
Kill your
that-
double.
That black circle in the center is the support column that Ridley found the button on, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what it is. All right. So do I roll for an attack?
Who are you running up to attack? You're killing your double.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go after my double.
Yep,
'cause
Kill your
this doesn't
double.
look good.
Yeah, roll. Make an attack roll. So it's D20 plus whatever your attack bonus for whatever weapon you're using is.
Okay. 1 second.
There can only be one.
Okay, so attack bonus. So attack. 20. See if this works.
That definitely hits. That definitely hits. What are you actually attacking with?
The crossbow.
Okay. Roll damage then.
All right. Okay, 1 second.
Okay, so you deal 8 damage to your clone. Your clone is the Danny half form is not looking great, but is definitely still standing and is even more pissed off than ever.
Okay.
Next up, Misty, you are invisible. You do not quite know where the other person of you is. However, you can definitely see the abomination of Ridley's half form and the abomination of Danny's half form, now with an arrow sticking out of him. What do you want to do?
Okay, are either of... Well, I thought I had the footprints of mine evil twin,
Mm-hmm.
so more or less visible.
All right, you thought you had... You will, if you want to try and find them, you will need to roll a perception check. What's the actual... 1 moment, let me just double check things.
Would that be my action?
Yes, it will be if you want to actually figure out exactly where they are. I will give you advantage because of the the footprints on the floor, but you do need to roll reasonably high perception.
All right, how far are Ridley and the other evil twin from
I'm
each
gonna call
other?
it. I'm gonna call it a the room has a 30-foot radius, just so like you can get here, there, everywhere, like basically everywhere, in one go.
How far are the evil twins from each other?
A little bit over there. I'd say between Misty and Ridley, call it 40 feet. Between Ridley and Danny, 35 feet. They're pretty spaced out.
Boo. All right, then, let's just magic missile Danny's twin.
That works. All right, you don't need to roll an attack for that, do you? Or do you have to roll
Nope.
spellcasting? All right, roll the damage.
Yep. Let's see, what was it? It was 1d4 plus 1, I believe.
I think it's per
per dart.
yeah, per
And I
dart.
get 3 of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Easier probably just to roll 3d4 plus 3.
That would be easier. Let me quick fix that, and
Nice. So, the Danny half form takes another 8 points of damage. He is not looking good. He's like definitely He looks quite bloodied. He looks not quite ready to topple over, but I did explain that bloodied was like a specific effect of like if you've gotten to less than half hit points, yeah, Danny, your Danny half form is not looking good, but still standing.
And I am visible now because I cast a spell.
Alrighty. Next up, James, you are up on the catwalk with Bukbuk. You are about 20 feet away from you is Olivia, who is standing there with a sword. With a big, smoky, very bad-looking sword.
Okay, well, Maud, do you remember the idea you brought up 2 weeks ago after the session ended?
Well, you bet I do.
James maybe steps a little bit closer because he's not that strong, maybe like, I guess, like 10 feet closer.
Okay.
And he picks Bukbuk off his shoulder and throws him at Olivia.
Roll me a strength check. Roll me a strength check.
All right, cool.
I love this. I hope it works, but you still gotta roll me. Nice.
Nice.
That definitely does it. I'm not gonna say it's not the most perfect throw ever, but like it definitely gets it. So you chuck Bukbuk. Bukbuk goes flying through the air, flapping their wings about madly. And they manage to definitely get at the peak of their the arc of the throw and everything. It's just above Olivia's head. I'm going to shift Ridley's move down a little bit just for the sake of actually making sure you guys all go at once. So Bukbuk, it's your turn.
Oh, yay! Guess what time it is, everybody? It's time for sit! So, yeah, Bukbuk just turns back into a house and says, "Bye-bye, bad lady."
Okay, before you go crashing
and I
down...
have no idea what I roll.
Yeah, please. I'd say
What do
roll.
like?
I'd say roll Dex. Dex is probably going to be you trying to aim properly with this, because the other thing is
with advantage because he is a house.
no, like still.
Advantage.
So just roll me Dex. It's going to be a pretty low Dex roll necessary, but let's just. You might fail. You might crit fail.
Mm.
Ooh.
It's a 5.
Ooh. Okay. You do not manage to slam fully down on Olivia. Let me finish.
James got me above her.
James had a fantastic throw. However, as James threw you, he did introduce a bit of a weird twisty turny bit, and there is still a little bit of force in that throw. As you're flying through the air, speed stays even as you grow larger, so you're still kind of going forward. You don't just go slamming back down because suddenly you're big. You go forward, but suddenly you are big enough, however, to clip the top of Olivia's head as you grow in size and you're flying over her head.
Ow.
So I'm gonna say, oh god, what is this even good? What did I make you roll last time when you sat on that bandit?
That's a really good question that I should be able to answer, but I can't.
Roll me, call it D10 plus 2 damage. And D10 plus 3,
Okay.
actually. D10 plus 3 for this,
D10
considering you are zooming through
I am
the air.
hitting her head with a house.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Olivia does, like, with the force of the blow, Olivia also does go sprawling onto the floor. So she is knocked prone. She will have to spend either all her movements or her action next round getting up, which means either there's the likelihood of not being able to attack you guys. Likelihood, not certainty. But she's got a nasty cut on her head, but right now she's mostly just looking furious, especially as, next up, it's her go.
Uh-oh.
Bukbuk, you have landed a little bit past her. Thankfully, you are just out of sword range from her. So she uses her movement to actually get to her feet, dabbing at her head and just glaring at James. Turns her head oh so slowly and glares at Bukbuk. She is not happy. She didn't want to have to do this, but I guess this is how it's going to be, isn't it? And she cast Eldritch Blast on
What?
Oh,
Of course, she's a warlock.
yeah.
Hang on. I have to Google that.
She casts Eldritch Blast. She's a reasonably high level warlock, so have fun with this. At eating me. I think at this point in time, she's more pissed off with James for throwing Bukbuk in the first place, but Bukbuk, she's not happy with you either. So, a beam of crackling energy streaks towards James. I need to make a ranged spell attack against the target. So let's see. What actually is my spellcasting bonus? That's a good fucking question.
Do I check my armor class or?
You will need to check your armor class. I need to just double check if
Okay, cool.
thing. What? Elix. That should be +4. Okay, so that was nope. I typed too fast. Okay, does that get past your armor, James?
Yeah, just barely.
Okay, so okay.
Uh-oh.
That's an uh-oh.
You take 2d10 damage. Thankfully, she rolled reasonably low. So
Okay.
Olivia is not happy with you. James glares at you, glares at Bukbuk, glares back at you, James, shoves out her hand, and 2 beams of crackling energy come shooting out of it and hit you right in the chest, dealing 7 damage. And James, that's the end of Olivia's turn. Next up, back down on the floor, we have Ridley. Ridley turns, sees the weird, half-formed, very distorted image of himself. He's not happy with that. He's going to run up and hit it. Because this is what he does. He just has he's not going to hit it. He's going to pull out his crossbow because that does more damage and he's intelligent, whereas I am not. 20 plus 3. He absolutely hits.
Wow.
So he shoots his clone for 8 plus heck. I have too many tabs open. It's hard to keep track of everything. Really? He shoots his clone. The clone just shrugs it off. Obviously, it's the ridiculously hardy coat that Ridley goes around wearing all the time. Next up, it's... why have I just placed basically all my turns at the end of this? I should have spaced these out more. I'm going to say the half... for the sake of things, I'm going to say the half-forms are... Oh god, I gotta do all of them. Oh no, why do I do this to myself? Alright, the Ridley half-form goes first. He's not happy with being shot. He's going to shoot Ridley right back.
Oh no.
Because, guess what? They all have exactly the same stuff that, you guys do. But
Oh no!
they're not as good at it. Which means they, thankfully, do not... So, Ridley half-form does not manage to shoot Ridley. Who else have we got? We have the Danny half-form, which is really not going great. Also going to pull out a crossbow and try and shoot Danny right back. Which is...
Uh-oh.
That definitely doesn't hit. The shot goes horrendously wild, and Danny, you are safe for now. Misty. The Misty half-form is still invisible for now. The Misty half-form takes a fucking running leap at Misty with, Actually, wait, no. It's just, like, it's not happy. Not exactly massively intelligent, despite the fact still being wizard. Takes a running leap at Misty with a dagger. So, let's...
Drops invisibility when she attacks somebody.
Yeah, but that's okay, because... like it's gonna like no matter what she was gonna do an attack. So that's actually a +2. Yes. So that was a critical hit. Misty, that was a critical hit.
Does double damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's so 2d4. Good thing it was just a dagger. So Misty, take 3 damage.
I survive.
You're fine for now. Okay, that's the half form's turn done. Danny, it's your turn again.
Oh, right. Should probably try to take out my clone. So I do attack, or oh dang, I forgot. So I'm gonna attack again the crossbow.
Okay. So roll to attack.
So it was hold on. Sorry, I got confused.
It's okay. D20 plus your attack bonus for that weapon.
Alright. And then
Okay. That does that actually does hit. Okay, so roll damage.
right. And that's for oh yeah, +2. Okay.
Ooh. All right. The Danny half form is looking just about ready to keel over. Has got 2 arrows sticking into him. Is looking very bloodied. Is not going great. But for now is still standing. Misty, your turn. You are. I would like to note, Misty, you are now. I realize actually you are now grappling. Why did I do this to myself? So you are grappling with your clone. You are lying on the ground, rolling about in some ink.
Me.
She kind of did a running jump, leapt on top of you, stabbed you when falling, and I'm going to say that's why she got the critical hit. So,
all right, well, I'm gonna stand up.
you've got to actually do a strength check if you want to.
Movie, don't worry.
You've got to do a strength check.
Did she stab me or did she grapple me? Because they are both actions.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. It's a question of like, how much are you willing to bend the absolutely strict rules of D&D for the sake of a really cinematic thing of invisible feet going splish, 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 leaping into the air, suddenly invisible creature appearing with a dagger in her hand, leaping on top of you, stabbing you, and knocking you both over, and so you're both kind of lying on the ground. Because we can stick to the hard and fast rules if we want, or we can go cinematic.
Alright, I'll roll my strength check.
I will give you a second action for this, though. So.
Oh no, wait, that's wrong.
Oh wait, that's an
That's
R.
actually a -2.
That's a what?
It's a -2.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to give you a second action, but I don't think that goes very well.
No.
Did that even actually roll anything at
that
all?
roll doesn't count. She's typed it in wrong, so it hasn't calculated it properly.
That's a you didn't
I did a
R.
-1. It's actually a -3. It's a -2.
No, the other thing is you rolled an R rather than a D. So do you want to try that one again?
Oh, whoops. Wrong. Interesting. All right, let's try it with the proper modifier this time.
Yep. Still not great, but at least it wasn't a critical fail. All right. So you are trying to. I'll do a strength resist one with this one because she is an weakling. An absolute weakling. D20.
I mean, if my modifier is -3, what has she got?
That's nasty. Oh.
This is okay. So basically, what has happened after this absolutely glorious whole run, jump, stab, knock you both to the ground? You're both just kind of lying on the ground together, having a little slap fight, like. and as you have this slap fight, Misty, you are just strong enough to slap her hands a little bit to go. She goes, "Ah, how dare you!" And flinches back from that. Goes, "Ow, that hurt! And you manage to get her off from on top of you, and I'll say that you stand up so you don't need to spend your next turn standing up.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Gods. James, it is your go.
Oh my god, I'm so sad we can't see this.
God, someone animate
I
this,
wish I could
please.
animate.
All right, James, it is your go. You have just been hit with Eldritch Blast.
Okay, well, obviously he's not too happy about that, but he is also a little bit scared. So,
This is
what
a
he
very
wants-
angry-looking lady with a sword that just shot magic out of her hands, so scared is probably the good response.
So instead of taking a running leap and, swiping at her with his dagger like he wants to,
Mm-hmm.
did he use his single blowgun dart last session? I don't remember.
Not that I remember, no.
Okay, cool. So he switches to his blowgun and he tries that.
Okay, roll to attack.
Okay, let me. Shoot, hang on.
I spent so long going and copying all your character sheets to make the half forms, and then only half of you were actually down on the ground when it happened, and I'm so disappointed.
Hey,
We could say thank you because we saved you a lot of trouble.
the
Very
machine
true.
can be reactivated, can it?
Don't give her ideas. Don't give them
Tempting.
ideas.
It is tempting. But no, I don't think I'm going to do that to you, mostly because I don't want to have to roll for another 2 characters. God.
Nah, that's okay. Okay, shoot, what is the attack roll again?
It's a d20 plus the attack bonus of that weapon.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Ooh,
Decent.
Come on, that's good.
that hits. So, roll damage. Bless you.
Thank you.
Roll damage.
Okay, 1d1 plus 2, because that's what it says.
Okay, that's basically, you can roll, so flip a coin, basically.
Okay, cool. Two?
Okay, so you actually, you deal a very minuscule 3 damage. It hits Olivia in the shoulder. She kind of just looks down at it and goes looks down, looks up at you again, and just, really? Really? Is this what you're doing? Are you you're throwing chickens at me and chucking darts at me? Do you really think this is going to work? Bukbuk, your go.
Okay.
Little
Bukbuk
did
is,
she know it
behind
was a
her.
distraction all along.
Ah.
Bukbuk,
Well,
you're about
yes, indeed.
yeah, you're
So,
about 10 feet behind her, so you could
yeah.
easily get to her.
Cool. I'm gonna ask you to make a con saving check.
Okay, let's see.
Then I'll tell you what I've done.
So, what was that you tried to do there?
Oh, it still happens. It's just not as cool as it could have been.
That's fair.
So, you know how Bukbuk has the seeing window and it's kind of got this pale dot that acts as a pupil in it?
Mm-hmm.
You see this dot glow, and the thing you have to remember about Bukbuk, which is very easy to forget because Bukbuk is a chicken-brained house, is the fact that they are an enchanted witch's hut. And witches really like doing things when there's a full moon. And suddenly a silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. And she takes 1d10 radiant damage as opposed to 2d10 radiant damage because Bukbuk has just used Moonbeam. Because
Nice.
that little shiny eye is in fact a reflection of the moon.
That is
Big
so
surprise.
cool. That is so cool.
Yeah,
You're
that is
actually-
world building.
You're actually better off rolling 2d10 and then halving whatever number it is. In terms of actually
Okay, I'll
strictly
take that.
sticking to the but. Okay, so 7 damage.
So 7.
Not
Um,
bad.
Yeah, not bad. Olivia stumbles a little bit as, like, basically the weight of this moonlight hits her, but she's still on her feet, she's still looking good, and now she's just looking around at you and just going, like, she's looking between Bukbuk and and James and just staring between the two of you, just, what is going on here? I realize I probably should have given you advantage on that, and, like, I will also note, you guys technically... Oh no, you're not close enough to have her flanked, never mind. But yeah, you guys are just on this kind of, like, catwalk that is only just wide enough for Bukbuk to be up there. You've got Bukbuk on one side, Olivia in the middle, and then, James on the other side, and then you've got everyone else down below. And now that Bukbuk's gone...
I don't know if it's relevant, but that was radiant damage. So
Radiant,
just
I don't think it does make a difference, but let me double check. Also, I realised I forgot to add an extra 4 to the Eldritch Blast that I used earlier, so James be happy about that, because I'm not going to add it on now.
Congrats.
Alright. So far, now it is Olivia's go, and so far, James has been very much of an annoyance, but obviously, hey, Bukbuk can cast spells. Bukbuk can cast pretty powerful spells. She's not exactly happy about that. So she is going to... Ooh, there's so much to choose from here. Oh, I love it.
No.
There's so much to choose from here.
At least she's not attacking you, James.
Just hope your saves are high enough until she runs out of slots.
Oh, well, that's the thing. I've already technically run out of spell slots, but, like, cantrips.
Bukbuk has a dirty, great big sword, so, like...
Yeah, that is true. That's what I'm saying. There's so much to choose between. Ooh. Sorry, I seriously am spoilt for choice here. But no, I think she's going to go with Chill Touch. So she's going to run up to Bukbuk and just place her hand against your wood, or at least try to. D20 plus...
Versus my AC, right?
Yeah, oh, so only an 11. Does that work?
No, it does not. Bukbuk is dodgy.
You're on this tiny little this tiny walkway where you can barely shuffle around now, but she tries to get you against the wood of your house or against your leg or something, and you kind of just like move your leg at the last second, and Olivia misses. And now it is Ridley's go. Ridley is going to fire off another crossbow bolt at his half form and just hopefully try and get rid of him. 20 plus... I have too many characters here. I'm trying to juggle.
Kill a half form.
Gotta do his best. It didn't work too great last time, though. 3. Well, that hits. So Ridley fires off an arrow at his half-form self. It hits right in the center of the half-form's chest and deals
1.
8 plus... If it's a 1, I will scream. And deals 11 damage. So...
That's just 2 1s.
Shush. Ridley Halfform is not looking good. In fact, Ridley Halfform is now bloodied and is basically staggered down to one knee, pushes himself back up again. Is definitely not looking good. So you guys dealing with the Halfforms are going really well. People at the top less so, but Halfform guys are going pretty good. And now it's the Halfform go, and they're going to shoot everyone right back. So
okay.
We've got 20 plus 1. So this is Ridley Halfform shooting at Ridley. It does not hit. We've got the Danny Halfform shooting at Danny. Does that hit?
Oh, Okay.
So, Danny, you just got hit?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, so that's
alright. Is it my turn or do I roll for?
no,
damage
like
or-
basically I'm about to roll for damage.
Oh, okay.
Danny takes 7 damage. That hit you pretty damn hard in the shoulder, and it's stuck deep.
Ouch. Okay.
Takes 7 damage.
Danny is getting a little pissed.
Understandably. And Misty.
Mhm.
Do, 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 do.
It'd probably be even worse if his just started talking to him.
Uh,
That would make him even more angry.
Thankfully, they have not tried talking yet. They're kind of just making the whole like groaning, bubbling zombie noises.
Yeah.
So Misty's going to try and cast Mel's acid arrow at Misty.
Shit.
Oh no.
We're vulnerable to that damage.
The Misty half form still has all of her spell slots. All right,
Are
make
you
a
kidding me?
ranged spell attack. That's gonna be 20 plus 3. Thankfully, it
If
fucking
she
misses.
tries to attack me, she does have disadvantage because she's right next to me.
Well, she misses anyway, so like that's absolutely. So on a miss, the arrow splashes the target with acid for half as much of the initial damage. So you still do get absolutely get splashed by 44 halved. So 44. So take 4 damage.
Oh, well, that totals up to 8 because we're too kind.
Sorry? Oh yeah. What? Oh yeah. All right, and that's all the half forms done. Back up to the top of the order with Danny.
All right. Okay, so.
You just got shot with an arrow.
Yep, took some damage. Okay, so he's gonna once again just try to take his double out. So let's see. It was geez, I keep forgetting what it is.
So it's a D20 plus your attack bonus.
Yeah. I keep getting the
I love how like this whole thing between between the two Ridleys and the two Dannys, like you're just shooting each other back and forth with crossbows while Misty like grapples and gets stabbed by and shoots various magic attacks.
and slaps her.
I didn't actually shoot mine. I shot Danny's.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough. Okay, yep, you definitely hit. Roll something higher than a 1 and this guy's gone.
Alright, and that's the attack damage.
Nice. Wait, no, that's it's a that's not. You need to roll your like the actual damage. So your damage would have been
wait.
something different. Try again.
Oh, it would have been?
It would have been 1d8 plus whatever.
Oh, hold on.
I was wondering how you managed to roll a 9 on a d8, but
Hang
this...
on. Like this?
Yep.
Oh, wait, I think I did it wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. Rolling dice is hard. There we go. That's still absolutely amazing. All right, so as you get shot, you are pissed off at getting shot, and you fire one last arrow right into the center of your half form's chest, and it gets knocked backwards, falls over, and does not get up again. So the Danny half.
You know what?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
So Danny half form is dead. Do you have any witty one-liners to say?
I feel like you can keep the arrows. I don't want them anymore.
Amazing. Misty, your turn.
Well, Misty just abruptly realized how dangerous her New buddy is. So she's gonna cast Burning Hands at first level,
Okay.
which is 3d6 fire damage, and
Ooh.
Misty Clone has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, that's not her forte, but let's see how she does.
That would be a fail.
Yep, okay. So,
All right. 10 damage.
10 damage. All right. So the Misty Half Climb, you like shove your hand into her chest, and like there's a burst of flame, and it definitely you can see like the actual flesh, the ink beneath her that forms her starting to bubble and warp, and she kind of stumbles backwards a half step, and you can see this black charcoal glistening handprint on her chest, but she is still standing, and she is furious. Next up, James.
Okay, so as a Toonkind, I can just cast Tease Hideous Laughter without taking up a spell slot,
Yep.
right?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So James, realizing that he's got a pretty good train of confusion going on here, decides to keep that rolling. So he doesn't make any sort of attack, but he says something, and his words are kind of laced with this whole magic thing. He says, "If a train leaves Chicago at noon carrying 20 passengers, 5 of whom smoke, in 4 cars, what is the name of the conductor's dog?"
Like, all right. So, one moment. It's must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw. Okay, that was an amazing line, though. I do have to say. 13, 20. It's amazing. So Olivia kind of just looks around at you so confused because she doesn't know what's going on. She's trying to just stop you from causing this ridiculous ruckus. She looks around just like, what? And she bursts into laughter and cannot stop. What does that actually mechanically do? Let me double check.
They fall prone.
Okay, so yeah. So she falls over in a fit of laughter, just giggling on the ground. And so each time takes damage, she can make another Wisdom saving throw or at the end of her turn. Next up is Bukbuk.
That's wonderful. Sorry.
You've just got
so
this-
impressed. I'm like kind of reeling from what that was. Anyway, the thing is, the moonbeam spell is active for up to 1 minute. So is that still going?
You said how large was the actual cone though? Because you said it was only a reasonably small radius, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it on Olivia. It's a 5-foot radius.
Okay, 5-foot radius. She moved out of that radius to get to you to actually.
That's okay. I can move it.
Move it. Okay, yep. So you can focus it back on her.
So
again.
I can use an action.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll use my action move to move the beam up to 60 feet in any direction. So yeah, you like your spotlight, yes? So
Question though, Olivia
gonna have
is
to make that con saving roll again.
will do. Question though, Olivia is like literally right beneath you because she tried to touch your legs. If you move this cone, is it going to get you as well?
Oh, actually, no. Wait, if she's like right beneath me, is time for a sit?
I mean, yep.
It's time for a sit.
It's time to sit. So,
what did we do last time?
I think it was roll strength to see how hard you sit, and then damage from there. So, yeah, D20 plus strength.
Okay. Okay, D20 plus strength. Oh man, come on. It's a house.
Okay, you,
That's an
you,
I'm surprised it didn't bring down the catwalk yet.
we'll call
Yeah,
it a
that's
strong.
what I was half expecting.
I was like, what if he just jumps up and down and just like breaks the whole thing and takes everybody down with him?
I was expecting Bukbuk to break the catwalk as soon as he
me
turned into
too.
the house into a house and landed on the first turn.
Oh, trust me, if
Yeah.
Bukbuk had actually rolled a bit harder on the decks, it absolutely would have. At this point in time, the only reason the catwalk is still up is because Bukbuk hasn't actually been moving around that much. It was kind of turn into house, land there, stand there, lift up a leg. Okay, now time to sit. Oh dear. And now what I was about to say for this is because with that roll, you try to sit on Olivia. However, with the way that she's kind of rolling around and squirming a bit on the floor as she giggles, you start sitting down and then you can kind of feel her, like her hair, her arms, her knees kind of brushing up on your on Bukbuk's underbelly, and it tickles. It tickles. So you try to you try to sit and then it's just the whole and nope, gotta stand up again. So I'm sorry to say you do not manage to sit on Olivia.
God.
On the
We
plus
need to
side,
sit on
James
her at
has
least
managed
once.
to make Bukbuk laugh as well.
Are they friends again?
They could just feed off each other's laughter at that point.
Yeah.
All right, it is Olivia's go once more. She gets a takes another wisdom saving throw, which was D20+1. That's still not enough for her to recover from Tasha's hideous laughter, so she spends the whole 6 seconds lying on the floor and giggling. Next up, it's Ridley. Ridley's gonna take another shot at himself because he's very imaginative.
Oh, really? Do you need someone to talk to?
He's fine. He's fine. I love Ridley. I love Ridley so much. It's just also kind of like when you are a ranger in D&D, there's kind of only so many moves that you've got.
No.
But I mean, like he's taken so many shots at himself. Do you have anything you need to talk about, Ridley? We're here for you.
I'm fine. Let's get this over with. To be fair,
Danny offers was like, I can start shooting him for you.
well, if you're done shooting yourself,
Yes, I'm
I think
fine.
so.
okay, that hits. It deals 1 d8 plus 1 damage. So it deals 2 damage. So Ridley is getting very annoyed that his shots just don't seem to be landing. He's kind of looking at the half-formed self and kind of just going, okay, looking at the clone, looking at himself, looking at the clone, going, I need to get a new coat. Or I need to at least wash it. Why didn't anyone tell me my coat looks this bad? And
It's like, we thought you knew.
okay, the Ridley half-form decides, hey, you know what, I'm sick of just shooting back and forth, this isn't working very well, goes and, like, runs up right next to Ridley and takes an attack with his club, which I'm just saying, he's basically just got a kosh, so that's D20 plus 3, and absolutely whiffs the hit. So it's like, it tries to take a swing, but it's got too many injuries, so as the half-form kind of like stretches out, his arm kind of goes a bit wobbly and weird and doesn't quite work right, and it shoots right over Ridley's head. Next up is the Misty half-form, who still has a burnt and blackened handprint right in her chest. She is not happy with that, and she is going to basically do the exact same thing right back at you, but casting it at a level 2.
Oof. All right. Dex save. Don't
Dex
fail me.
save.
I don't have many hit points left.
Oof, not good enough. Sorry.
Well, bye everybody.
Oh, no.
Bye, Misty.
Misty's down.
Misty just got incinerated.
Oh
They still alive?
Well, unconscious, technically, and unstable.
Okay, you've got a healer on the team. Don't worry.
Yeah, so so the Misty half form's gonna like, fine, you're gonna do that to me, I'm gonna do that right back to you. So sticks her hand again in Misty's chest, mirroring what just happened. Misty just goes up in fucking flames and falls out, and once they finally extinguish themselves, Misty falls over onto the ink on the floor, extinguished, but definitely unconscious. She's out of it. She is critical. You have basically 3 turns to live. I wish you luck on your rolling. Next up, Danny. What do you do?
Bukbuk, do something.
Danny has a spell called Cure Wounds. Can you use that?
Yep,
on Misty?
You're still pretty close to Misty. Yes, you could actually use that to help her with like regain a couple of hit points and wake her up again.
Okay.
Does anyone have bandages? Can they just like slap a band-aid on?
That's what Danny's trying to do.
I might have a healing kit or something in me.
Oh, like no, yeah, use the spell. Honestly, the spell probably has the most chance of working.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I just gotta check to make sure that I have. Okay. How do I do spells? I never done a spell before. I just
basically is like you basically just touch Misty and then roll a d8 plus your spellcasting ability.
D plus spellcasting. So is that
I believe is wisdom.
So it should like the spellcasting, like your spellcasting modifier.
Yeah.
So it should just be like your wisdom bonus.
Oh, it's a wisdom bonus.
I think it's your wisdom bonus plus your level, or is it? Plus 2. On your character sheet, it should say it. Are you using OrcPub to have a look at all of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I supposed to use something different?
Okay, no, you are doing it right, don't worry. It's just that, like, when you look at Cure Wounds, it will actually, like, on the actual section that says spells, you'll find Cure Wounds, it'll say, yep, your abilities wisdom, DC 10, and then you'll have a little, like, plus number next to, at the very end of the thing. Yeah, you use that. Yeah. So it's going to be a D8 plus that number.
There's DC 12 and a plus 4.
Okay, so it's going to be a 1d8 plus 4.
D8 plus 4. See if that works.
Okay.
Wow, nice.
Misty, you are healed for 12 points of damage.
Huh?
Like Misty, you've just been healed 12 hit points.
Yay!
Can I get a little bit of roleplay there between you two? I want to know what Danny does when he sees his friend go down.
Oh, he's shocked. He's horrified. He's like, "Oh my god! Like, why wasn't I helping her?" So he's like, so he runs over to her. You know, he puts his hand on her as gently as he could. You know, trying not to hurt her anymore. And he uses a spell. He's hoping it works. He's only ever used it once in his life, and he's unsure if it's gonna work again.
Aww.
But just
that's so good.
So,
and it works. And it works as well as it could possibly ever work. And Misty, you have been healed a bit.
Misty, eye snaps open. The first thing she says, "Oh my god, that sucks." No wonder she's mad.
Well,
thanks. I'm pretty sure that was rough. You're the best, buddy.
Can we keep the wholesome train going?
Sure.
It's so good.
Picks her up bridal style, and then just like, "I'll fight her for you."
No, I'm gonna keep the wholesome train going when it's my turn.
Okay. Well, next up it is actually Misty's go. So good thing you're awake again. What do? You are prone.
All right, I'm gonna stand up.
All right.
And you know, let's just keep this fire train going. So far, it's working great.
On both sides.
Yeah, fair.
All right, and then be. And it's straight. dex save.
Okay. What was the thing again? Okay, straight up D20.
Is it
20, one moment. 15. Is that good enough to dodge?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do believe it is.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on fucking you. And the Misty half form dodges out of the way as you try and blast her with some more fire.
So she only takes 7 damage.
Well, yeah, that's still enough to knock her out. She dives out of the way, but the flames still lick at her legs and they start melting back into ink. And as she collapses onto the ground, her whole body is horrendously unstable, and this is just enough to knock it over the edge. And as she collapses on the ground, she just disintegrates into burnt bits of ink, and she is dead. The only half form that is
Misty
left.
pulls on her eyelid and sticks her tongue out like, yeah.
The only half form that is left is now the one that Ridley is facing off. Otherwise, it's up to James up on the catwalk to do your thing.
Okay, so while James's focus was mostly on Olivia, he has been keeping an eye down below just to like make sure nothing's going too wrong. And when he sees Danny helping out Misty, something it kind of reminds him of something, of someone in particular, and he realizes that if they don't make it out of here, he doesn't really know if he'll be able to face that person again. So he runs at Olivia and just goes wild. He probably doesn't hit, but if he does, there is definitely some raging stabbiness going down.
Well, you do technically have advantage because she's still on the floor giggling. So roll me an attack with advantage.
All right. It's D20 plus the bonus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here.
All right, with advantage, roll again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit better.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
lot better.
All right, as you said, you are rightfully furious. You want to make it out of this alive. You want to get her, and you stab her. I'm guessing with your sword, was it?
Dagger.
You stab her with your dagger. Roll for damage. Roll and roll well. Nice. All right.
Cool.
So you do you sink the dagger in pretty deep. It does a fair chunk of damage. Olivia's not looking great, but she isn't bloodied yet. And the downside is of you stabbing her, of you actually dealing damage, is that she gets another go at breaking out of that spell. And she gets advantage on it because of the fact that you actually hurt her. And she is not happy about that. She still rolls like shit. So even as you...
Amazing.
As you stab her, even as like you give her this gash down her arm, she is still lying on the floor, giggling, and then laughing at you, and laughing at Bukbuk, and laughing at the antics down the floor, and laughing at the blood like it's no one's business. It's just... you just... It's rather disconcerting. And... Bukbuk, it's your go. Your friends are kind of right beneath you, and there is a lot of weirdness going on here.
Nah, Bukbuk doesn't like what's going on. Bukbuk is like actually just kind of freaked out. So I'm gonna actually say for Bukbuk's action,
Innocence?
like walking, yeah, Bukbuk like actually backs away, and it's like anyone's guess as to whether he's backing away from Olivia, who is freaking him out, or James, because James kind of scared him a bit, because that was scary and also kind of cool, but mostly scary. So yeah, Bukbuk just backs up a little bit, and I don't know if that would allow Moonbeam to be specifically on Olivia or not.
No, because well, now you've got James, who is right next to Olivia as well, so you would not be able to
Yeah.
easily move it without it.
Actually, you know what? Like Moonbeam is a concentration thing, and he's like Bukbuk's been weirded out, like, so that's just gonna shut off. He's just like, I don't know what to do.
Entirely valid. Okay, Bukbuk, may I please also get you to roll a... Oh god, what do I even get this here? Call it acrobatics. Roll me acrobatics.
The hell?
Excuse me?
House. Oh, somehow I have a +2 for that. Okay. Oh, because I'm a moon. Aha. That's why I have that. I was like, what? Why does a house have this?
Wait, what?
Okay, that's a
What is
9.
it?
That's still bad.
Okay. Bukbuk, as you are backing up, you need to remember you have very little space on this catwalk. It's barely wide enough for you to actually be able to have both your feet on it. Like, when you tried sitting down before, it was a bit... But, like, right now, as you're walking away, you are very distracted by everything that's going on just there. And your foot slips. It hits the edge of the catwalk. It breaks the thin railing that is there. And it just drops down. As the rest of your body slams into the catwalk, it breaks. And all of you go falling down to the bottom, and all of you are gonna take some damage.
Nope. Misty's gonna use her reaction to cast Friend.
Okay, fella.
MVP!
Alright, how many people can you cast it on?
I can cast 5.
5? Okay, so if you want to try, oh god, let me just do a quick read of what this, the specifics of this spell so I can figure out how it's going to work
Choose
here.
up to 5 falling creatures in your range. I'll just copy paste it into the
Yeah, no, it's
chat.
okay,
Here you go.
I've got it here. It's,
And even if you couldn't, James also has feathers, but like he's kind of tunnel visioned right now. I don't know if you
okay,
do
well, I
it.
think I like the idea of Misty catching you guys. All right, so who specifically do you catch here? Because there were 3 of them up on that walkway.
Yeah, nah. Lady who was doing the painful experimenting that led to me getting covered in acid and set on fire. She can fall.
Yeah, entirely valid.
Nice.
Entirely valid. Let me just quickly find the rules for full damage here because I cannot remember off the top of my head and I forgot to write it down. If anyone can find me full damage faster than I can,
I can't
please.
decide whether this means that Misty has got the drop on Olivia or Bukbuk's goof actually caused this.
I think it was a
Share
combination of
responsibility.
everything.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
Yeah,
Teamwork makes the
like
dream
that.
work.
Okay.
Teamwork brings down the house.
It really does.
Literally.
Okay. So,
Teamwork keeps gags
alright.
from damaging your coworker.
so, so as
There needs to
the
be a poster.
as as the
I have photo editing software. I can make one.
do it.
Yes.
As the catwalk
Just get me a
breaks,
base, Emmett.
Bukbuk, you are first to fall, but you are quickly caught by Misty's spell. Misty, you also notice, oh heck, I should probably save my other friend that's up there too, and you manage to catch James just as he starts toppling off. Olivia, on the other hand, just fucking
Wait,
falls.
hang on. You cut out. You
Oh,
cut
sorry.
out.
Basically, Bukbuk, you're the first to fall. Misty catches you. James, you're about to topple as well. Misty manages to catch you with the spell as well. So when you start falling, it's a nice gentle float down, and you're not gonna get hurt. Olivia, on the other hand, falls just like a sack of bricks, and gets God. What was this again? It was 1d6. Okay, well, actually per 10 feet. How high did I say this room was?
So how tall is the room?
For let's call it that. So, Olivia takes 10 damage. That's not great. She's not going great. You guys are all just on the floor now as well. Olivia is now officially, bloodied. The most damage that has been cast on her has been from falling off a catwalk. Well done.
Whatever makes it work.
But the other thing is, now that she has taken damage, she gets another go at breaking out of Tasha's hideous laughter. Please let this work, because this would be an amazingly cinematic moment. She gets advantage. +1. What is this? What is this? What? Okay, what was the actual wisdom save that she needs to make to beat this, James?
Hang on. I don't think I actually had to roll for it.
No, but
if you want to just go by...
You know, for the sake of cinematic, I'm going to say that 13 just about does it, but she's still a little bit giggly. All right,
because I mean, if you're saving against James's base, it's 9.
Oh, that's just nice. God damn it!
Aren't you charismatic?
Yeah, wouldn't it be done?
But
yeah,
he has high charisma but low wisdom. He knows how to talk to people.
This would be against your charisma.
Yeah, so it's against.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait, shoot.
It'd be.
Oh right. Then it's 17. But you know, for the sake of cinema,
for the sake of things being cinematic, I think I've got a good way to play this out. I'm gonna say that 13 only just does it, so she rams onto the floor. She gets completely winded, and she's still kind of giggling a little bit, but it's just enough to jar her out of it in time for her turn to roll around. She kind of pushes herself up to standing, clutching at her ribs. It looks like she's probably broken a couple of them with that fall, because she landed splat on her back. And she isn't a toon. She doesn't bounce. She's human. She's not looking good. And she kind of pulls herself up to 1 feet. She's limping a little bit, and she looks around at all of you, just... I can't believe you toons! Why can't you just follow orders? Why can't you just do something sensible for once? You're all terrible. There's no wonder this kingdom has gone to wreck and ruin. It's because of you. I have fun playing her, if you could not tell. And she is going to cast... Oh, she's going to cast Eldritch Blast at James because he just stabbed her and because she's not happy with him. So, let me just quickly roll. That's actually...
A question before you do that, like, how close is Bukbuk, and could they use, like,
you know what?
just step in the way?
Let me quickly redraw the absolutely gorgeous map that I've got here of where everyone and everything is.
Well, I mean, if that 10 was your AC roll, it doesn't really hit anyway.
Oh, fine.
That 10 was trying to break out of Tasha's hideous laughter, which worked, but didn't work.
I wasn't paying attention.
Nope, it's okay. You guys are all... I wish I had more than a trackpad for this, but I don't. Okay. So, Bukbuk, you're there. James, you're there, and I'm gonna say Olivia is right in the middle here. Let's put that in then. Okay, so that's the layout of things as they stand. Olivia's going to... James, you are basically the closest, so she's going to cast Eldritch Blast on you, especially as you are the one that has pissed her off the most. And that's going to be a +D +7. That doesn't go very well. Oh, wait, she gets... one moment. Oh. Oh wait, I forgot. She gets 2 beams. All right, so she lobs one at. So that's the first one. I realized. Sorry, I realized I'd been changing up the rules a little bit halfway through this because I did not read them properly the first time. I'm not used to playing warlocks. Second beam
it's okay.
also doesn't hit. Okay, so obviously Olivia is still very jarred from that fall, from her injuries and everything. So she thrusts her hand out to launch some eldritch blasts at you, James, and they just go swooshing right by your head. One of them clips your hat and like makes it and scorches the side of it, but you yourself are safe and unharmed. Next up is next up is Ridley. Ridley has just seen this happen, is not too happy about any of this happening. However, he would love to do something about it. However, he's still kind of battling his other self. So, he's gonna basically whack himself with his own club. Cause yeah, why not join the club? That was terrible. That was terrible.
Wait, there's no red R on the other one.
Heck. Okay, the red R is meant to be right below the current, the one, like, the...
Oh yeah, they're right next to each other.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
Okay,
I'm
I
sorry.
get it.
I was very distracted
It's
with
okay.
Olivia. So plus 4. Oh,
That's okay.
4, okay.
Ooh.
So, yeah, Ridley's very eager to get this fight over with and get this the last half form out of the way, whacks him doubly hard, and does... 2d4 plus 1 and does 8 damage. Please, is that enough? I've lost track of who's doing what. It is just enough. So, whacks the half form Ridley in the head. It is just enough to wipe them out. So Ridley half form goes down, crumples onto the floor, and you can kind of see like their ink just slowly spreading out from beneath them. So that map is accurate once more. Olivia is the only enemy left on the board, and she's not looking good. So Danny, it's your go.
Alright. Well, takes aim. Or actually he should probably move around Ridley so it doesn't hit him.
Yeah.
So he's gonna move closer, probably to James.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's gonna be in the line of sight of her, but he's gotta take that risk. So, and then he's gonna take aim with his crossbow.
Okay.
And shoot. Right, and then do the right back to crossbow. And then that was the D20 with the attack bonus.
Yeah. That's enough to hit. Roll damage.
All right, that was a 1. It was D8 plus.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do hit her, but it only just glances, like it gets her in the leg. It does not do much damage. She kind of just winds up with another cut to go with the one on her arm and her broken ribs, and and the like one on her shoulder where James like chucked a fucking blow dart at her. Misty, your go. Misty.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your turn?
Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn, sorry.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna upcast Magic Missile to this lady I really, really don't like.
Entirely valid.
And that gives me 4 Magic Missiles, so she takes 15 damage.
Yeah, no, that hits. That sends her staggering backwards. She's not looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Bukbuk, sit on her.
All right,
it's my
James,
turn?
it's actually your turn.
Okay, am I still falling or?
I'm gonna say you guys got to the ground.
Oh man, okay. Well, James is very, very angry right now. So he takes the running leap that he wanted to do before he pulled out the blowgun, and he's aiming at probably her throat, but she's significantly taller than him, so
Mhm. Like
or
she's
at least somewhat taller than him.
yeah, like she's pretty
So I
short
don't-
for a human, but like yeah, you're pretty short. So all right, aim roll.
Yeah.
All right, if you are you are you
Roll the attack?
specifically roll me attack. You're specifically aiming for the throat.
Yes.
Okay, you're actually gonna have disadvantage on that then.
All right. Okay.
Depending on how you roll, I'll probably still let you hit anyway. But if you're aiming for somewhere specific, I will. Nice. Roll again.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna basically just pick the average of those two, and that still hits. So you manage to get her in the throat. Roll me damage.
All right.
Alright, so she is not looking good. She looks like she's not quite on her last legs, but it wouldn't take more than another blow or two to get her down. She is she managed to she stops you from outright knocking her over by bringing up her sword just in time. But like you definitely you get a nice big cut across her throat, and as she is laughing now, there's kind of like bits of blood burbling out of it in time with her laughter. It's pretty gory. It's not fun. Bukbuk, it's your turn.
Oh my goodness. Bukbuk has never seen anything like this.
I don't think any of us have seen it.
I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of Bukbuk that almost wants to heal her, but is also just like aware that this is crazy bad lady. And
You're
you know
probably
what?
going to have to pry James off of.
Well, that's it. Like, Bukbuk would be doing sit, but Bukbuk doesn't want to sit on James. So Bukbuk is gonna try and do something that requires me to roll d20 plus 2, I think. And I hope this hits because it'll be very cool if it does. That doesn't.
That doesn't hit, sadly.
Yeah, I don't get advantage or anything because she's like nearly dead or anything.
No, like any advantage that you might have for that gets cancelled out by the fact that James is right next to her, I'd say.
Yeah, never mind. We're just gonna ignore the fact that Bukbuk just, coughed a wood axe at her out of their front door.
He's like,
Put them missing down the fact that Bukbuk is inherently a pacifist and doesn't really like what's been happening. However, if anybody wants to pick up the axe, it's quite a good axe.
Like, if you want to say,
James, put your hand down.
If you want to make it again, if we want to go cinematic here, Bukbuk coughs the axe to try and get Olivia. Instead, it goes right in between where Olivia and James are standing and kind of like forces them just half a step apart. It goes dung, and hits and slams into the ground and just goes there a little bit, and so they've been forced apart from the deadlock that they were caught in. Next up is Olivia. I'm trying to see what last-ditch things she might try. Ooh, has she got any fun features?
Ooh, good luck. Good luck.
You know what? She's pissed off. She doesn't feel like trying any spells anymore because they don't seem to be working very well. So she's got her wonderful shadowy sword, and she's just gonna take a fucking swing at James. Just try and get this one victory. This one tiny fucking victory, please! 20 plus. Wait, she actually makes a double slash because she gets to do that. So she takes two wild.
Last one hits.
She takes two wild swings at James. She's not really expecting to hit, but she's praying. First one, James, you manage to step back just in time, and it swooshes past you. The second one, though, she's just close enough to take another slice, and it gets you right across the chest. And you take and you take 8 damage. How are you
How you
going,
doing
James?
there, buddy?
Okay. Ooh, okay. Can I do like a little like reaction here?
Oh,
It's not going to be
absolutely.
like game worthy.
Absolutely. No, just like freeze.
Okay, so
talk as much as you like.
So James staggers and like he coughs up a significant amount of whatever tunes have instead of blood, but just something in his mind has snapped or 2 live wires have connected, because he starts foaming at the mouth and he growls at Olivia like some kind of rabid animal.
Well. Next up is technically Ridley. I reckon Ridley's pretty fucking stunned by everything's going on. Let me just see if there is anything he would do. I think Ridley doesn't actually want anyone to die here, though. So he's gonna step in with his club and go aim for a bit of non-lethal damage. Because, like, okay, yeah, this is... Obviously, there's something pretty bad going on here, and this lady's just been trying to kill all you guys. However, if you guys kill her after just breaking and entering, there's gonna be some issues, and Ridley would prefer to maybe avoid that. So he's gonna come up and take a swing with his club.
Sorry, who?
Ridley. Ridley's attacking Olivia. And
Okay,
he
cool,
does
cool.
manage to hit, barely. And that's a... and does a fair chunk of damage. Like, Olivia, it's gonna take basically a stiff breeze to blow Olivia over at the moment. But she is still upright, and yeah, she's not looking great, but she's still on her feet. Next up, Danny.
Okay, so at this point, yeah, I think he's gonna try to knock her out too.
Okay.
Okay. Well, okay. Danny carries a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm thinking he would pull it out, but he'd turn it around so the hilt is down. So he's gonna try to hit her over the head with the hilt of the dagger.
All right.
And hopefully knock her out.
So non-lethal damage. Cool.
So that's so it's an attack, and then attack bonus, and then a damage.
Yep.
Okay, so let's try that.
Obviously, you're not used to using daggers this way. You're used to either stabbing them or just not using them at all. As you kind of flip it around and go to get her, the blade slips and you don't actually, and it kind of falls out of your hand as you're trying to attack her, and you don't do any damage.
All right.
Sorry. Misty, your go.
See, Misty really doesn't like this woman, and she's the kind of tune that takes an acid damage spell. But if all her friends really don't want her dead, I suppose she'll attack with her trying to mimic Danny. Begrudgingly.
Okay. Roll me an attack. It's getting very crowded around Olivia at the moment. It kind of looks like you're all just crowded around her trying to, like, beat her up. It's... From the outside, it would look really ridiculous. You basically...
It does look bad.
Especially since one of them is probably rabid.
Yeah. Okay, so Misty, you tried to copy Danny because obviously, hey, that might actually be a good way to stop it from outright killing her. You copy Danny a little bit too well, and the exact same thing happens. And
do what I do, not like that.
And the initiative...
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes.
The initiative order rolls around again, and James, it is your turn.
Okay, so James is not going to do anything else until she is either unconscious, out of his sight, or dead. So, what he does is he decides that the dagger is a little too straightforward. So, he throws it to the side and runs at her tooth and nail.
Are you proficient in unarmed strike?
No, but he will be biting.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Let me actually check. How do I
Does
check
he have
that?
teeth?
I don't think you are.
Well, he does now.
Dude, dogs have teeth for sure. They're just retractable.
Yeah, that's how duck logic works.
I don't know why. I was just kind of half expecting him to pull like a guitar out and then go
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
he
go
doesn't
through
have
on
go
them.
El Kabong on her.
Do
I
it, do it.
understood that reference.
just strangle her with your cape. That works.
Also, I should probably mention there's there are certain moments in like some of the older Disney afternoon comics or shows where the bird characters, if they are particularly angry, their retractable teeth will come out sharp and very dagger-like.
Yes.
I can attest to this.
All right, roll me an attack. It's called just a flat out d20.
All right.
Well, wasn't quite a crit fail.
Someone probably holds him back, I guess.
No, I think what happens is like you are rabid, you're out of your mind. You run up and get her. You run up to try and get Olivia. However, because all of your other friends are kind of crowded around her at the moment, it's more of those little bits like, let me out, let me out, as you kind of like shuffling in all around her, trying to get her. You just kind of, while they stand about, and it's that whole thing of like you're bashing on their heads and trying to like wrestle your way into it, and they just not moving.
Except there is no English vocalization at all.
Yeah,
it is all growling.
yeah. There we go. I think that's
He's gone full Donald.
pretty much. Okay,
Where does
but
rabid dog come from?
I was waiting for this big dramatic culmination of the fight with James getting his revenge, and then it's just nope. I forgot we're working with tunes. Buck, it's your go.
Let me tell you, if it had hit, it would not have looked very tune-like.
Very true. This was just like all the sensors trying to stop it from being anything too bad, considering everything that's already happened.
Yeah, I can buy that. Oh gosh, well, I mean, what does Bukbuk do? Because like James is right up on her again, right?
Oh no, like Bukbuk, you're a little bit away from the rest of the group. I mean, I think you're like probably a couple of steps back, but I mean, like everyone is crowded around Olivia. There's no way you can get just at her unless you have a specifically targeted spell.
That's what I mean. Gee. And also, yeah, Bukbuk is like really concerned about James's health at the moment. My question is, can Bukbuk touch James or like ideally swallow them?
Yes. Like roll. Okay. Bukbuk, like I want you both to kind of just roll me dex saves.
Okay.
Whoever gets
So
higher
it's a dex
wins.
competition, basically.
Okay,
yeah.
D20 plus the dex
Yeah.
saving throw.
Yep.
The saving throw or the
D20.
modifier?
All right,
Because those are listed as two
Okay,
separate things.
I think James go as the saving throw, Bukbuk just the modifier.
All right.
Same other way for me. Oh man, that's a 10.
So
That was a 19.
yeah, okay, so James definitely wins that. Bukbuk, you try. James is a little bit too worked up and moving a little bit too rapidly.
I was just trying to heal him.
Like his mind or his body?
You know what? You know what? Can this work for the sake of cinema?
Yeah, for the sake of cinema, yeah, because the other thing is, James, if you don't want to resist, you can just let it happen.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay, I will let it happen for the sake of cinema.
Okay, so what happens is out of the same door that the wood axe flew, like Bug just scuttles forward and is like, oh, no, we calm down now. Come. And a welcome mat tongue comes out and wraps up James and pulls him back inside. And you can't see this because it's inside the house now, the door is shut. But he goes tumble backwards into that most wonderful, delicious, beautiful chair that anybody would like have trouble getting out of, and heals you for 12 hit points.
Nice.
Okay.
That was cure wounds at level 2.
Can James resist the temptations of the chair?
Can you?
Oh yeah, sure, when it comes to your go. But like basically it's like the most comfortable, calming chair you've ever sat in. It's really, really nice.
Okay, well, James has rabies, so.
If you
Still hear him
really,
screaming. Like,
you're just kind of stuck there. It's like still screaming and frothing at the mouth. Like, I guess that works. So
you can hear sort of muffled from inside
Like,
the house, and but
he-
just like shoo, he's okay.
He's probably chewing on the upholstery.
Bug won't like that, but okay.
It's what's happening.
okay.
I take damage.
all right. Well, next up, it's Olivia's turn again. I seriously thought that you would have got it by now, but there was just some horrendous rolls this whole time. And she's going to have another go with Eldritch Blast. She's going to aim one of them at Ridley, because he's one of like the closest people, and he actually did damage to her last time, which is a d20 plus. That hits. So Ridley she does have. In fact, I think is she just gonna hit. Yeah, she's gonna do that at Ridley, and she's gonna do another one. And alright, wait, what's damage? We'll do damage first. D10. So Ridley takes 3 off. Bukbuk, she's actually aiming another one at you. Bukbuk.
That just about hits.
Yeah, that I think that possibly hits. So Bukbuk, you take 4 damage.
That's nothing.
So can I say this is the first time Ridley actually has gotten hit during this fight?
Cool. Good for him.
Yeah. But yeah, so Olivia did that Eldritch Blast. And does she have anything else she can use to get away from you guys? No. Okay, that's the end of Olivia's turn. Next up is Ridley, who is just gonna take another attempt at just knocking her fucking unconscious. Please, let's end this. I don't want this to end. I want to keep mucking around with Olivia because I like her, but Ridley
Also,
is so done. Yep.
What would my save be to get out of the chair? Just like
You
for my
can
next
get
turn.
out of the chair, like, but it'll have to be on your go.
Okay, cool. I was just asking if I needed to do like a save.
It's good.
Okay.
Okay, so Ridley has another go at knocking Olivia unconscious. He gets a really good blow in. She's not going great. She's let's 1d4 plus 1. And Olivia is officially been knocked unconscious by Ridley. She is out. It is over. You have defeated all the enemies. Round of applause. And well done. You managed to stop James from committing a murder. That's probably a good thing.
That's a big accomplishment.
And you stopped him without him committing another.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Olivia is unconscious. As she's kind of like collapses to the ground, Ridley's just, thank God that is over. He pulls some rope out of an inside pocket of his coat and just like starts tying her up so she can't do anything else. You also note that as Olivia fell unconscious, her sword just vanished. It dissolved back into shadows. And you guys are now just stuck in this giant room with ink all over the floor and an unconscious and very badly damaged woman. What do you feel like doing?
All right, we need to go. What's for dinner?
Well, I know
need
what
to
I
get
want
out
to
of
do,
here.
but it's not my turn.
Oh well, you guys are out of initiative. You guys are out of initiative, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
this is time for discussion.
Bukbuk opens the door. You're allowed out.
Okay, well, he would have gotten out, but in his enraged frenzy, James happened to notice his own frazzled tail feathers, and is now in a dust cloud fight with himself.
Bukbuk is like looking really uncomfortable, like, you know, if you have too many sweets in your mouth kind of thing, and is like, oh, could you help?
It looks a bit like someone let a pack of wild raccoons into Bukbuk's interior. There is not a single piece of furniture that has not been knocked out of place.
Bukbuk is going to use a cantrip, which is oh no, it's not a cantrip. Well, it's a level 1 spell. Whatever, I'm going to burn it. Create or destroy water.
Yes,
So it's going to start raining inside the house to try and get you to calm down.
It does not work.
No,
Oh,
please.
just
No,
went out.
No, can James? Can I please get a strength save? Because I have an amazing image in my mind, and I want to see if this happens.
All right. Okay, that's just a straight D20. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
so it's sadly enough it does not work. So yeah, Bukbuk, it is now raining.
Wait,
There's
what
just, like,
was it? What was it?
I could just imagine like this rain just starting to pour down inside Bukbuk, and then James just kind of falling down this whole like river, this waterfall just spewing out of Bukbuk's door, and just like doing the whole thing like floating down on his back and just spewing water out of his beak like a little fountain. But no, I think with that roll, he's strong enough to resist the water. However, you are very sodden and kind of cold now.
Still in the dust cloud fight with himself, though.
A mud cloud fight.
Yeah, okay.
Anybody want to step in? Like, the house has enough room.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think rabies vaccines have been invented yet. So.
Oh. Okay. We'll just leave them in there. We're safe out here.
I think. Oh, let me see if Ridley's actually gonna do anything.
Okay.
Just kind of like.
Would that be a wisdom save?
Hey, guy, it's over. It's over. See, he tries picking James up by just like the scruff of the neck. I can now imagine James just kind of clung to Ridley's arm, still in the middle of a dust cloud fight, but now with Ridley's arm, which Ridley's just kind of like holding up and staring at him.
Can I roll to bite Ridley?
Go ahead.
Okay, what would that be?
That's just gonna be straight D20. That hits. Yeah, roll me a D4 damage.
Oh my god. This is the enemy, and James is the worst enemy of them all.
Ridley barely took any damage throughout that whole fight. He took a tiny bit at the very end, and then James just went chomp right on him. Oh, good question. Can any of you toons swear? Because Ridley can, and he just yells "shit" and just whips his arm and sends James flying to the other side of the room.
Wait. Can I do a strength contest to see if James is still like clinging to his arm by his teeth?
Yeah, let's do this.
I'm probably gonna fail, but like,
Let's fucking
You gotta
do
try.
this.
Although after this, I'm gonna have to
Ooh.
ask both of you to make a I'm gonna have to ask both of you to make a wisdom saving throw, because Bukbuk was imbued with a magic that doesn't allow people to swear inside him, because his mama wouldn't like that.
well,
Okay, wisdom save then.
James certainly doesn't have the upper hand on that.
Ridley has a decent. Okay, so Ridley makes 13.
both of you get jettisoned out of the house. You just get cannonballed out, go flying out of the door, and Bukbuk is like just looks absolutely stunned because again, this has never happened. Bukbuk didn't know that happened when people made a particular noise inside him. He still doesn't know what that was, like what that word was. He's very confused.
Someone please teach Bukbuk swears.
Teach the chicken how to swear.
Hashtag let Bukbuk say fuck 2K19.
Let Bukbuk say fuck fuck.
Bukbuk is just spitting out water and feathers right now.
James, can you please make another wisdom save, please?
All right.
Okay, that was above a 10. You calm the fuck down, please.
Okay.
With everything
James
that's
sort of.
With everything else, you are sopping wet, you've been picked up by the scruff of the neck, you bit someone, and then you've been ejected out of the house. You bashed
Okay,
into-
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. James kind of winds down after a while, like panting harshly, still kind of foaming at the mouth. His eyes still have that little ring thing, but he's not biting anyone, and he doesn't look like he plans.
Thank fuck that's
Misty and
over.
Danny just watching all this.
We're just watching the shit show.
Oh, Misty, but you don't know where, but she's got popcorn.
Ah,
Just watching all this go down.
oh,
Drama.
what do you guys want to do? Because Ridley's just kind of lying there going, I'm never working with anyone else again. I'm never working with anyone else again. This is why I work alone.
James coughs harshly, and he just sort of like he's taking these ragged, panting breaths, and he slowly sits up straight, fixes his vest in his hat, and he's like, "Where is she?"
And Dennis was like, she's unconscious, don't worry. It's fine. It's like, we should probably focus on getting out of here now.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, if we just leave her here unconscious, then she's gonna wake up and start doing this all over again.
No, we're
Yeah.
taking the
I'll take
evil
her.
lady with it, surely.
I'll take her.
Push her back in the house.
I don't want that. Bukbuk says, no, I do not eat the bad lady. Taste bad, taste bad.
Fair enough.
James is already trying to pick her.
Good luck.
Would that be a strength?
Yeah, that would be a strength check.
Okay, cool. It sounded like you said Dex at the end. I was like, what?
No, sorry, that was me clearing my throat. I have a little bit of a cold at the moment. That is
Oof.
not enough to pick her up. You kind of manage to kind of half pick her up, and your feet do the whole scurry sort of thing, and then you slip and fall, and your face splashes into the ink on the ground.
James doesn't react as bombastically as he would have in any other circumstance. He just sort of lets out this raspy sigh and pushes himself to his feet. We should go to the cages.
So, can Danny just attempt to try to like drag Olivia along or something?
Yeah. So if you want to just drag her, yeah, roll a strength check again, but it will be a lower check.
Okay, it's just a strength check. Alright, so it was So it's
Noted if
a
this doesn't
D20.
D20 plus your strength bonus.
Okay.
This doesn't work. You can always tie her to the
Ooh.
back of Bukbuk, and Bukbuk will drag her.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
Misty,
just done that.
Misty, you
Let's
try as well.
do that.
Yeah, so let's you guys have plenty of rope. She's already tied up, so you may as well just use what's left of the rope and just attach her to the end back of Bukbuk. That works. That's fine.
Awesome.
Don't mind us, we're just dragging a corpse along.
Well, she's not dead. but-
Yeah, well, this is the passerby though.
You guys, like, as you guys, there is a door on the far side of the big circular room, and that leads to like the little control area that you saw Olivia in when all of this started. And you walk through there, and you see the completely forgotten about scientist that has just been sitting in the control room this whole time, plastered up
Yeah, you're
against one of the
here.
walls, staring at all of you, and just kind of going like, "I don't want anything to do with this. Don't want anything to do with this. Just ignore me. I'm not here."
It's like Danny loads his crossbow. Yeah, you're not gonna be in a second.
James growls at him.
Like the scientist kind of just like shuffles along the wall a little bit, gets to the door, like pat 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 pat, tries to get to the door handle, gets the door handle open, just zooms outside, and they're gone. They're gone. So yeah, you
Well,
guys.
that's an exit. Can we follow him?
Yep, it's an exit. You can walk out. You'll have to. So you walk out. There are some rather thin corridors. Bukbuk, you can't actually get out the door. The door is too small for you.
Oh, Bukbuk just shrinks down to be a chicken and then suddenly realizes that they're tied to a very large person, but still tries to keep walking.
Like everybody could just grab onto the rope and just drag her out all at like as one.
Yeah, I was actually
Until like
okay.
they're outside.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Yeah, okay. I'm not even gonna make you. I'm not
Would
gonna
that be like a combined strength thing?
No, I'm not gonna make you roll for it. If everybody's helping, you will just drag her. Like it will definitely work.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, you guys head out. You go through the door. You head down the corridor. There are some stairs you need to go up, and you're back on the first floor, on the other end of the corridor that you guys walked down the first time when you first entered. So it is a little bit familiar. This whole place looks like there are like red lights flashing here. That you can't actually hear any alarms, but it's pretty obvious that they know there's something up now. You can't, but you don't see anybody about. What do you guys do?
Place could be surrounded with authorities.
James looks around to see if there's any like cameras.
We
No
do
cameras.
have some proof she was doing awful things, right?
You have proof that she was transmuting toon animals into. Well, you have quasi proof that she was transmuting toon animals into something that isn't a toon anymore. That's not
Dang
actually
it.
illegal.
That's legal?
I mean, it's one of those things where, hey, look, here's this new absolutely atrocious thing that the law has no idea on how to handle, therefore it's not actually illegal yet.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
We should tell Mr. Ukum.
I mean, she experimented on us without our consent. That's probably illegal, right?
It's morally questionable.
Well, I mean, like,
Too bad
we did
Close enough.
we did break and enter.
For good
Fair.
reason. But too bad we couldn't bring any of the amalgamated tunes with us. It's just proof. It's like, here, look at this corpse. It's proof. We're the good guys.
I mean, the scorching hand on the center of mine was not super proof that I was a good guy. I'm kind of glad mine is gone.
Okay, fair.
Okay, what? So, like, oh, what's the plan here? If we go outside, there might be people waiting. If we stay in here, they might come in and get us. This was a disaster. What are we meant to do here? What do you guys think we should do?
Go out the way we came.
That was through a window. Or
There was a door there too.
Back door.
a back door. They probably have all the entrance covered. Just in case.
Think you dare make another door?
Make another door.
It can work through a wall if wall is thin enough.
Oh. That might be a good idea. So, is that like a strength check?
That's
or
like you guys.
a
Alright,
spell?
I want you guys to like. I want everyone to roll me investigation.
Investigation?
Because like you guys need to
Nice.
like you need to find a wall.
Might as well.
Yeah, you need to find a wall that is thin enough that you guys can actually go through first.
Oh, nice 20.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. So Is that everyone or? No.
Nope. There we go.
All right. Danny, you are the first person. Like you guys go. Your whole group goes in search for a wall that is thin enough you would be able to break through. Danny, you are the first one to find something. It's just like a wall. It's on the opposite side of the building to where like the animal cages were, but it definitely seems thin enough that it looks like this is part of the building where the other larger building kind of merged into it, took it over, and this new one wasn't as well built. So you reckon that, like, yeah, with enough strength, you guys could probably bash through this and get out? You go and tell everyone else?
Right. Hey guys, look over here. I found this wall's pretty thin here. I think we could break through this.
Ooh.
What do you think, Buck?
Everyone just looks at Bukbuk.
I can try.
And yeah, the result of this, I hope you realize, is that Bukbuk has gone stretch, reek, and you now have a large-ish shed house inside a building. And I hate to say this, but I don't think that they can turn back into a chicken, so this had better work.
Oh no!
This better, yeah, roll me
They're going to do
strength.
the whole cartoon antic, lifting up one leg and leaning back, and then charging at the wall full tilt.
Perfect. Roll me strength.
Boy, this had better work, huh? What's my strength?
Wait, James has bardic inspiration. Can you use that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. That's a slot done. Add a d6 to your roll.
Oh my, that's going to be nice, huh? Right, so that's +8 now. Yay! That's a
Yep.
21.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Yeah, that definitely. That's not technically how the bardic inspiration works, but you know what? I'm saying that's how it works because I want this to work. So,
Thank you.
You do
Is
this
that how it
massive.
works?
You do this massive run up with like run, like your legs turn into a blur. This room isn't very big, but somehow there is enough space as the wall behind you kind of repeats a couple of times for your legs to build up into a blur, and you smash head straight into the wall and bounce off. Then as you kind of bounce onto your back a little bit, you're stuck in a little bit as your legs wave in the air, and as everyone else watches, the wall right in front of you is like a tiny little crack, slightly larger crack, and then the whole wall just disintegrates into dust.
Hey,
You now have
two rules.
You now have plenty of space for you guys to get out of the building. Do you still have the unconscious and tied up Olivia?
They're still tied up behind Buck the whole time.
Excuse me, do we? That the way you phrased that scares me.
No, I'm asking, do you? Are you taking her with you? Are you leaving her here?
She's
What
still
do you-
tied on the Bukbuk.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I got scared for a second.
I think I'm going, if you guys don't mind, I think I'm going to end this whole thing really, really openly and then leave it up to interpretation what the heck goes on with your party from here. Because what I can see is you guys are on the second story of the building, so it's a bit too much of a jump down for you to be able to get easily, and sure, you could probably chuck some ropes down there and scale down, but considering the wall just disintegrated, there's too much of a chance of someone seeing you and coming in and getting there, and coming and, like, stopping you guys from escaping. So, if Bukbuk doesn't mind, you all just pile inside them. They jump down onto the road and then just go legging it off across town to avoid all the ramifications of the mess that you caused. And you jog off into the countryside, into the woods, with your whole party, with Ridley and the unconscious Olivia, all of you, and you're just gone. And then the screen freezes for a minute as Bukbuk's kind of just leaping into the air, you all peeking out their windows and their door and everything, and circle kind of closes in on the door of everyone peeking out, and the screen goes black and it ends.
Executive producer Dick Wolf.
Nice.
That was not how I imagined it ending, but also I don't know how else it could have gone.
I like it.
Well done, you guys.
Good game.
was
Good game.
fun.
You finished my
That
first
was
mini
fun.
campaign. I hope you all liked it.
No one
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
Thanks for that real clutch healing there.
So, sorry if I got a bit annoying with James's whole issue, but
No,
I
No,
just-
Good
that's
fun.
I loved
entirely
it.
canon in cartoons, so that works. You know?
Gosh, that was great. You guys are also toony, and also I am not sure if it's gonna happen because there's not much to back it up. But also, I ever so slightly ship Misty and Danny. I'm not sure if anyone else does.
Oh my god. Wait, how old is Misty?
Good question. An adult of some sort.
Okay, an adult of some sort. I'll just write that down.
Hey, these are cartoon
I
ages.
know.
It's kind of like, huh? What? Oh, by the way, if anybody's interested, Bukbuk is 2 years old.
Oh, baby.
He's very old now. Yes.
All right. As a reward for fulfilling that campaign, I'll say at some point in the future, if you plan on ever using these characters again within this world, I'm gonna say that Olivia had a bunch of money on her, and you guys have all been rewarded with about 50 gold coins each. So
Nice.
you can use that to spend in the
Nice.
shop. You can use-
Enough for one health potion. Perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, and you do also have the other 15 gold coins that she gave to you earlier. So in total, you walked out of this probably wanted by the police of Toontown and 65
enough.
gold richer. So,
Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, you guys walked out of this wanted by the police of Toontown and 65 gold richer.
Cool.
Danny's just be like, great, my face is up around town again.
Anyway, I think I'll end things here because I have to go work on some other stuff, but this was an absolute riot. Thank you so much for you guys playing. This was so much fun. I love all of you.
Thanks for hosting it. It was awesome.
It was great.
Was.
See you all next time on What the Hell is Gonna Happen Now?
That's all, folks. Bye.
Bye.